All right, well, it's time to talk about a classic movie, a movie that has etched itself in the annals of history forever because it's an incredible and utterly awesome movie. And that is, of course, Gladiator. Now, Gladiator has reserved its place in history for a very, very, very specific reason, and that is the fact that it is the best, the most iconic, the most lived in, realized version of ancient Rome we've ever seen in cinema by and far. And that includes the sequel, which I haven't even seen, and I won't see because it's just a terrible cash grab off a vastly superior original. And is this is the kind of legacy they try and take off of. The original Gladiator is a historical movie. It's a movie they'll be talking about for a good amount of time. It's the perfect idea for a movie. A gladiator who, used to be a Roman general and is just thrown back into, the lower dregs of society and fights his way all the way back to the top of Roman society. It's such a good idea, and it's such an amazing movie, and I can't wait to talk about it. Now, in the big 2-6, as the kids would say, going from a movie like The Odyssey, Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey, I did a review on The Odyssey. I didn't mind it. I don't agree with the internet always having said that it's the worst movie ever, and considering it's done relatively good at the box office, people were interested enough in it to see it. I found it quite an interesting movie. But the thing is that when you go from Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey to Gladiator in 2000, 26 years before it, this movie has such a different tone. It's amazing. It's epic. It's incredible. It's heroic. It's bright at parts. It's has a bunch of glory to it. Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey, on the other hand, is very dark, very sad, very it just has a completely different tone, and that's what an important correlation I'm going to be making. Now, you cannot talk about this movie without the incredible, unbelievable performance of Commodus Joaquin Phoenix. Now, I'm a massive Joaquin fan, and I believe truly this is one of his best performances ever. He is so awesome as Commodus. He's like this, so quote unquote, kind of just this evil, uh, evil Roman Caesar guy who's kind of a lot like what's his name? Caligula. He's almost like a Caligula like character, and you can tell Joaquin was just made for this role. He's this got this Caligula look in his eye, and I actually kind of wish that they deviled more into it. Now it's mostly a movie that mostly centers around heroism and greatness, and that I'm sure they didn't want to get into all the depravity, but I think it would have been amazing to have Joaquin Phoenix as a more of a shown off as more of a Caligula like character, and Commodus wasn't as much like that. So but he was a devious guy, and he does show it off amazingly. Phoenix is just off the hook in this movie, and I think that it's one of his best performances because he just looks evil, he looks decrepit, he looks sinister, and it's such a great role for Phoenix. And it's an incredible period piece too. Now, I'm no Roman history buff, knows everything, knows all the armors and proper stuff they use, but the central idea of this movie is that, like, legitimately it feels like you're at that time period, and it doesn't scoff on like the wokeness factor. It's like there is other cultures in the movie properly represented. He goes to kind of like a Middle Eastern sort of African town, and yes, there's a people of other identities and cultures, and it's well represented. Whereas when you're in Rome, everybody is, Roman, everybody is white, represented properly. It feels so authentic to the time period. And yes, I'm sure there's a few little bits and bobs here that might not be perfectly accurate to the time period, but as a, as a closet history lover, this feels exactly like you're teleported back to ancient Rome, and it's incredible. So it's an incredible palate cleanse after watching a movie like the Odyssey, which is kind of sad and depressing, and definitely not historically accurate at the times. And it's also a great movie because like they tried to erase it sort of with Gladiator 2 by being like, oh yeah, this is the new one, but like nobody's gonna remember Gladiator 2, whereas everybody I think still in their mind they're like Gladiator 1 was an awesome movie, and it's still a classic. It is just such a great movie, and I'm so glad I went back to it. Well, now one of the parts of the movie that I will always freaking love being like a war, as a gamer, the beginning battle of Gladiator is so freaking awesome. It is so awesome. I would almost wish we have a whole movie of that. But it's an impressive scene. Lots of this movie is impressive, and there is CGI that you can actually really tell is CGI nowadays if you know what to look for. But yeah, I mean, essentially, the beginning of the movie battle is so incredible. It's one of the best Roman battles ever brought to screen, and it's just incredible. Like it's just like the effects. It must have been like they would have done using all CGI nowadays if they made a movie like this. But this movie was just like it's almost like they were like, let's just make a whole full on battle and film it. Like that's what it looks like. It looks so good, and maybe they used effects here and there, and I'm sure movie tricks and all these things. But it legitimately, the opening battle scene to the Gladiator absolutely looks like they just legitimately reenacted a battle from that time period. It's so good, and it is legitimately one of the best battle scenes, definitely for ancient Rome. One of the best battle scenes in all of cinema. And it's intense how Russell Crowe. Now, if you don't know the story of it, I mean, if you haven't seen this movie, you gotta go watch it. What the hell are you doing with your life? It's one of the best historic movies ever. It like it's epic the way Russell Crowe. Now, if you don't know, like I said, the story is he basically takes and he falters as a Roman general, becomes a gladiator, rises through the ranks, is super super proficient in combat and close quarters fighting. So lo and behold, he just absolutely rises through the ranks like nothing, and it's super epic how he like becomes so good at fighting. It's like he knows how to fight the enemy logically, and he knows how to use his teammates to his advantage, and like he knows how to like take everyone, and it's like he has like a military unit formed in the arena, and that allows him to just work the enemy. So I mean that is a cool thing too as well, that not only is he physically proficient in one-to-one combat, but he also has the logics to like fight his way using teammates. So it's super cool how he rises through those ranks. And there's a particularly wicked scene where he's in this big cage when he's starting to get really popular. He's like in this big slave cage, and he's like duh, 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 and he just like walks through the whole lines of slaves just so like heroically right to the front line to like, it's like everybody is like scared of going into the arena of possibly dying, but he actually like rises up and actually enjoys the thrill of combat. Super cool movie. Now, one of the most famous facts is Oliver Reed, who puts on an incredible performance in this movie, and the famous tale of him while shooting the movie, essentially, unfinished scenes. He had to have film, using doubles in many because he died throughout the movie, making of the movie. He engages in a drinking contest with sailors and has a massive amount of beer, rum, and whiskey, having a heart attack and dying in Valletta Mata. Yeah, I mean, it's an incredible scene, and you can't help but watching throughout the movie is like, yeah, he dies while making this movie, but man, if I was to die, I would want to die making a movie this good. You know what I mean? Like, there's like Oliver Reed died making Gladiator. Freaking, you'd be singing praises all the way to Valhalla, being a part of such an intense and epic movie. So yeah, rest in peace, Oliver Reed. But what a way to go out! Hell of a way to go out. So yeah, I mean, if it wasn't evident already, I freaking love this movie, and I love Russell Crowe. I love Russell Crowe, and I love him so much as an actor and a human being. He's like, if you look at him on Instagram, like he's still just such a cool dude, like on Instagram and stuff. He's just a real person, you know what I mean? And he's just in his element in this film. I mean, he's cool, he's intense, he's honest, he's righteous. He has like the ability to convey just this awesome Roman general who's good in his heart. And this is Russell Crowe's obviously his, magnum opus for his acting career, but he does so much more. But what I feel is it's an actor can act in different roles and be different people, but the essence of who an actor is encompasses who that role is. So this is Russell Crowe. This is the role he was made to play. This is the role that he was born to play. He is just so intense. He's stoic. He's heroic. He's everything that Pedro Pascal isn't. And that's, I mean, it's actually intense how much of a strong person he is, because he's a strong person in real life. So he conveys that strength on camera. And yeah, he is just absolutely awesome in this, and you cannot say enough good things about his performance in this movie. He's absolutely incredible, and it's a performance of a lifetime. So I could go on and on and on and on and on and on and on talking about how epic Gladiator is, the original, and how amazing this movie Ridley Scott was for bringing to life. But there is a parts that I hate the ending, because I hate when I hate the reality that Maximus dies at the end. But I mean, it's like it wraps the story up nicely. Now, would I would have rather had Gladiator 2 Maximus survives and it's Russell Crowe again and not Pedro Pascal? Yes, obviously, but it's an incredible movie. Richard Harris is great in it as Marcus Aurelius, the fatherly son. Oliver Reed's great in it. There's so many great actors playing this game. Even Tommy Flanagan as Cicero is super awesome in this. And that's an actor I didn't really know of when I was younger, but I mean he's great in other movies. So yeah, it is like a historic time period piece. I absolutely love it, and it is one of the best movies, historical for sure. Ancient Rome. Joaquin just legendary in the movie. So yeah, this is a great movie. In order to look ahead to what movies we could get in the future, we have to look back and be reminded of how many insanely good what an insanely good movie is. Lord of the Rings, Return of the King, Gladiator, Jurassic Park, all these movies are just freaking incredible. And this is one of those ones that gets in the history books of like a 10 out of 10 movie. How could I give it anything less? Yeah, Russell Crowe's death at the end sucks. Yeah, it didn't look like he was killed, but he succumbs to it. Yeah, there's some scenes that maybe are a bit CGI, but this is just an incredible movie. And if you ever need to be reminded of just like how they like incredible movies used to be made and how they just don't have it anymore, is going back and watching The Gladiator, because right now in 2026 in August, everybody's like Odyssey is everywhere. Odyssey is everywhere. I came back from the movie theaters and Odyssey was okay. I mean, I will say that there are parts that are good, but going back to a movie like Gladiator, they don't even compare. There's like the Odyssey doesn't even come close to being as good as Gladiator. And it's just how the movies are made. It's like there is a heroic nature to Gladiator that makes you feel good inside to know that, this stoic nature of a man, of men, is still alive and good in the world. And that is what Gladiator represents. It represents mankind's greatest achievements and heroism. So yeah, I mean, Gladiator, you freaking gotta watch it. If you haven't ever seen it, it is now time to go watch it right now. You have to see it. It's an incredible movie. 10 out of 10 material for sure. 2000s Gladiator is a movie etched in history, and it will always be lovable. And it has very unique nostalgia to it because it's a good ancient Rome movie. So if you go, I have amazing nostalgia berries for this. Just the scenes and like seeing it on the playing on the History Channel maybe. It was a part of my growing up, and I just loved Gladiator. It's such a good movie. 10 out of 10 material. Russell Crowe, Joaquin Phoenix are legends. This movie will be forever one of the best ancient Rome movies ever made.